Let me do this. Timekeeper, give me 20 seconds for this question. We live in the greatest civil rights city in America. Lately, there seems to be a re-embrace of white bigotry, white nationalism, and white supremacy, protected by the President of the United States. What are your thoughts about Trump? Let me start with Kathy Woolard. We'll come down. 20 seconds, please.
I try to have very few thoughts about Trump. I oppose virtually everything that he stands for, and I have spent, again, my career working against just this thing. For the last 4 years, I've been the lead lobbyist trying to defeat the religious extremism bills down at the state capitol, and I'll continue to work against those policies as long as I can.
I think President Trump is a disaster as president. I think he is promoting and enabling individuals to take on these extremely and extraordinarily racist views. He's been more harsh on NFL football players than he's been on Charlottesville's white supremacists. And I think that he's got his priorities misaligned, and he does not truly represent the voice of the American people, and he certainly doesn't represent the conscience of our country.
Tom.
I abhor any racism, any bigotry, any violence, any supremacy of any type. So I am absolutely opposed to any policies that reinforce that 100%.
Hold on, wait a minute. But Ms. Norwood, what do you think about Trump, President Trump?
We have a president. I am telling you that I do not support those policies. I am saying to this audience that I do not support any policies that are bigotry, that are racism, that are in any way related to...
Hold on, audience, please, calm down. Thank you. Audience, we're not doing that. Calm down. Thank you. Ms. Norwood, will you finish with your response?
I am finished.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell?
I think 45, is a disaster. He's a disaster not only for, America, but he's a disaster for the world. I think if we're going to have a president of the United States that's going to come to the city of Atlanta and promote the NRA and not even go and see Dr. King's crypt, I think we got someone who's on the wrong track. I completely disagree with this presidency and him.
Kwanzaa Hall.
Yes. Well, I voted for Hillary Clinton, and he is our president. I'm definitely opposed to anyone who allows the vestiges of racism and our past transgressions to revive themselves as they have under the current administration. I have to say also, Mr. Sessions is wrong on marijuana in particular. I believe we should legalize it in all the states, and I'm going to push for that here. When I'm mayor in Atlanta, we're going to make marijuana legal in the state of Georgia. We will be legal in Georgia when I'm finished. Thank you.
Tom. Senator Ford.
I want to just say ditto to everything, except for what Ms. Norwood said, or didn't say. I think that Donald Trump needs to be impeached. It's easy as that. I have advocated that, even though people are saying they're the only person who have advocated that. Go on my Twitter feed. Hashtag impeach Trump.
Tom. Ms. Norwood, since he did mention your name, would you like to respond?
Mr. Ritchie, we have a president. I may not like the president. I may not support the policies that are in this country and that are being promoted, but we have a president. This is what happens in this country. That election stands. If people wish to impeach the president, they wish to impeach the president. But I, as the next mayor, will be committed to getting the most I can get for Atlanta in financial resources, from every single part of the government in this country.
Thank you, ma'am. John Eves.
Donald Trump is an enigma. He's narcissistic and he's divisive. The best thing that we can do right now is to elect a mayor who is the antithesis of Donald Trump, a person who is inclusive, a person who is transparent, and is generally has the people's heart that they hold dear.
Tom, thank you. Ms. Bottoms.
The impeachment or removal of Donald Trump is more important than 120 characters. That is why I have previously publicly gone into detail about the need to impeach him. I think that we should all be concerned as we may be watching the rise of Hitler.
So ditto to many of the comments from my colleagues on the stage, with the exception of Ms. Norwood. The failing of Donald Trump to call out the racist marchers in Charlottesville was absolutely astounding and horrific, and one of the worst public things that he's done, along with a long list of other things. I don't have time, since it says stop, to go through the whole list, but there's a long list.
Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for all of our candidates for participating today. We want to give acknowledgement to the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda and Committee for a Better Atlanta. We have to remind you to pick up your voter registration forms and CBA scores. Remind everybody that tomorrow is the last day to register to vote.